Morning. It's Saturday, 27th. Right. And I've got to go to work today. I have a burial service at the church. Begins in roughly 45 minutes. So I've got 15 minutes to get me to work. Need to go and get some of that insulation, etc. But before, I thought we'd come out and take a look. Do the usual. I think I turned this down a little too much. It ain't even on right now. So 43. I forgot to check and see what it was outside. I don't think it had quite hit 30 yet. Turn that up just a little bit. So, I mean, part of the other problem too, we don't have any on the walls yet. This wall's kind of cold. Window's not too bad. But getting it up on the ceiling, it sounds different. I don't know if you can tell in the video. It sounds different. Like we talked about, right now, all that hot air was just going straight up and out. Now it at least has to hit this and deflect and stop and all that. So it's a little better. Ain't perfect. It's a little better. Part of it is obviously the heater's over here. It is warmer on this half than it is on that half for a couple different reasons. One, insulation. Two, the door's right here and it's open a little bit. Three, all of this. But I can... There is a noticeable difference. Right. Now, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of debris right there. Just on these boards. A little bit of fuzz right there. And they're moving. They're moving just a little bit, but they are moving. It means air's moving. And that air that's moving, because heat likes to go to cold, because thermodynamics, hot air moves real fast. It don't like doing that. Air is lazy. Like me. It don't want to move real fast. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. You know. So it's like, oh, it's nice and comfy over here. We'll go this way. So all that is making all that little stuff move is just the draft from the heat. It's a little bit of movement up there. And there's a little tiny bit up there, but there's no air getting in up there. I crawled up there and kind of peeked around because we had holes up there, right? I wanted to make sure there weren't any over here, and there's not. So a lot of that just little tiny bit of movement is just the air inside here moving. And, going where I don't want it. When I was a younger man, high school age, 20 years ago, we lived out of town. My dad's got some carpenter in him. Wonder where I got it from. And when we moved out to this house, he built a little shed to use as a workshop, about half the size of this. Pretty close. And eventually he started working for himself, needed a bigger shop, so we built a bigger shop. That is not on very good. I'll have to fix that. And I moved into the old one, basically doing what I'm doing now. And it was a very similar situation. He used a lot of that styrofoam stuff that we pulled off the wall to do the ceiling, the floors, the walls. I went out, when I moved in, I just got any old remnants of carpet and whatever I could find, and I did the floor and the walls. Had a drum set in there, guitar amps, guitars, some PA stuff. Kind of like this, not as big as this. This amp was there. I've had this amp forever. And we heated it. I heated it the exact same way. I just had this. And it worked really well in that little tiny space. Now this space, obviously, double the size, needs a little more. That's what that here's for. That's actually, We're going to push air. We're not going to rely on regular old physics to do the job, which, you know, few things are as efficient as physics when you really get down to it. This might be a little expensive to operate, but the way these heaters operate, it heats up till the oil's a certain temperature, it turns off. When that temperature drops, it turns back on. It's not on constantly. You get one of those little heaters with a blower motor, like a little ceramic heater, it's going to heat up that ceramic and the blower, and that blower blowing on it is going to reduce the temperature, so it's going to be running more often. Why is it doing that? I'm sorry. They work fine. Nothing against them. I almost bought one to put out here. This one came up first, so I bought this. And if this space were half this size, this would be doing a damn fine job. It's okay right now. I mean, 43 is not cold. I don't consider 43 cold, but it's colder than comfortable for what we want to do out here. So we're going to work on that. The reason I mention all that, the shed and all this other stuff, is, like I said, this is the way I heated it. It was great. It's not ideal for this. Like standing above it, even though it's off, it is warm from when it just turned off not too recently. I can feel the air moving. So that hot air is just going up and hitting and going out. Like you talked about getting a little fan. We did that the other day, blowing across it. That's going to reduce the temperature of that. It'll warm up the air, but this will run more. Trying to be efficient. And anytime you can let physics just do the job, right? That's, I think, a better way to do it. Now, what we'll do once we get this all insulated, we will... there's a couple of schools of thought when it comes to doing drywall. One of them is you put the wall up first and then you can rest the ceiling on top of the wall. That's fine, I guess, if you if everything is perfectly level and perfectly plumb and all of that, that's probably okay. I'm going to do that, and maybe that will... That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm sorry. And since nothing is ever perfectly level, perfectly plumb, perfectly straight, I don't exactly subscribe to that. I mean, if you're going to put a crown molding or something, you can hide that gap, because here's what happens. You put your piece up like this, you put the piece on top, and then you fasten it to the roof. And unless you have got that gap precise and it is consistent, when you tighten it, it's going to pull up. And then you're going to have another gap. If you're going to have a gap anyway, and it's not like this little 1/2-inch piece that sticks off the wall that far is really going to be supporting a whole lot of that 8-foot piece, So me, I'm fine doing the ceiling first and then coming down, because like we're doing over here, there's going to be baseboard, so I can leave a bigger gap on the bottom to have to cover and adjust than on the top. That's how I do it. There's going to be a gap no matter what. Don't go crazy trying to solve it, trying to make sure there's not one. Just let there be a gap and cover it. The size of the gap, don't leave it 1 inch. But if it's, up to 1/4, don't worry about it. You will stress yourself out more trying to fix it to make that gap go away than you will by just letting it be and covering it up. And if it's real bad, foam it, caulk it, do whatever you want to do. Just don't let yourself go nuts trying to fix something that really isn't that important. Okay. So that's where we're at. When this is done, hopefully today, we'll let those guys come in and finish. When they're done, then we will start doing the ceiling. We can scoot stuff over, do half of it, scoot stuff over, do the other half. Cutting around the lights will be fun. I've seen the little thing that you can get to do that job. I've never used one. I don't even know. I think it goes on your drill, and it's a plastic bowl with teeth on it, and you just, and it cuts the thing right out. Will we do that? I don't know. These lights are nice and wide enough. I'll try not to shine it directly at your face. That it doesn't need to be perfect, so we could just cut a little square and drop the light, put the piece up, put the light back. Wouldn't be too bad. We'll have to turn the lights off, but, and this is something I wanted to check. A little testing kit. Look, there's power there. Amazing. So one of these, this one, comes out of the box into the switch. And then sorry, drill. This one comes out of the switch. There's power. Break it at the switch. Still have power in one of them. But not the other. The one coming out of the box, power. The one going to the fixture, no power. So that means I can turn off the switch. I can work on the fixtures. No problem. Whereas if you wire the fixtures hot, if we would have taken that hot to the fixtures back to the switch, we would have had to shut it off at the breaker. Now, in this situation, that's not a big deal because the breaker is just right there. We know which one it is. It's the only 15 in the box, and it's labeled. But I prefer doing it this way. Power to the switch. That way, when the switch is off, power is off. Not power to the fixture. When the switch is off, there's power, but it's not a circuit. You know what I'm saying? Sure you do. Oh, and I should mention, I guess, didn't talk about this when we were talking about this guy. I'm running this on like the absolute lowest it'll possibly go. It's a 1500 watt heater. We know that because we looked at the element. The element said 15, which leads me to believe low is 600 watts, medium is 9, high is 15. So there's one 600 watt element, there's one 900 watt element, and when you turn them both on, you get the full 15. That's low, medium, high. That's often how these things work. The little shed I had, the old house where I had one of these set up, I think I ran it on high. Like the thermostat was down fairly low, but the heat was high, so it would heat up quicker and stay hotter longer. But out here, I mean, we could, here, let's do this. Let's do this. Thermostat, 12 o'clock. We're on low. Let's go medium. It is 10:30, 43.8 degrees. I'll come back after work. We'll see what it says. It will have warmed up a little bit outside, but not a lot. It's not going to be super warm today. And in fact, I think it's only supposed to be like 18 or 19 tonight. So that'll be a good test of how this is going to go. All right. Well, I'm going to go get some insulation. I just like saying it like that. It's fun. And then go to work. Come back, get it hung. Move on with our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just arrived at work. About to pop into the office, grab the keys to the work truck, and take off. And I don't know if you've seen it. I'm kind of trying to hold here for a minute. But it is snowing. Not like Rankin Bass, Christmas, Burl Ives, Jimmy Durante snow. Not like Charlie Brown Christmas, try to catch snowflakes on your tongue snow. But there's moisture coming from the sky, and it is not rain, and it is not hail, it is not sleet. It is technically snow. Let's see, maybe we can spot some on ye olde car here. Of course, it's right over the engine, so it's kind of warm. Maybe we'll just hold that for a minute. There's a lot of it. It's pretty light, but it is there. Ladies and gentlemen, this does not fill me with joy. Few things do. This is not one of them. Maybe there. Get some. There's quite a bit of it. As previously stated, does not fill me with joy. Oh, I forgot a bag. I was supposed to get a bag, man. I forgot it. Well, hadn't planned on grabbing my hat, but I think I better grab my hat. Don't need any of those. Just need that. All right. Oh man, it's 0:26 o'clock. Not only am I both late and early, I also don't exist. We're gonna call it in. No, 10:45. The clock on this microwave, I have set it. I have put it on 12-hour mode, 24-hour mode. It just does what it wants. It's probably some sort of interdimensional time machine, and I just haven't figured out how to use it. What I do know, it cooks my TV dinners and my oatmeal pretty good. That's all I can tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, mistakes were made. Your old pal Jason, just back from work. You might notice it's 2:30. I thought today's service was at 11 o'clock church service, meaning they show up to the cemetery around noon, usually out of there by 1. No, this was a 1 o'clock graveside, so they didn't show up till a little after 1. So, and made it up to a whopping 44. That's a thing. I did get my other 2 rolls, so I'm going to go ahead and get those put up. I'm going to take the longer bits. We'll do, if not those 2, I think we're actually going to be better off if I do these 2. Or some combination from the breaker box over. These are the walls that are going to get colder than that wall. But kind of one of those things where I don't want to put more stuff in the way if we're going to have to go that way. And we're going to have to go that way. We'll see what the electrician wants. Oh, and I got the bill for the job. I haven't opened it to look at it yet because I wanted to get this done first. So we'll see how much money they want to come out and work for 2 hours. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, I'm going to need that. Never mind. What am I doing? What am I doing? I need this little piece. Because you roll out your stuff and then this gives me something hard to cut on. Anyway. Couldn't find the ladder for a minute. It's right in front of me. What a dummy. Anyway. Let's get to work. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That wall is done-ish. It was like an inch to trim that. I didn't even bother. It'll be fine. Ceiling's done, and I went and just did the same thing to that window that I did to that one. It's not going to be permanent, just like that one. It's what I did. And in the hour, 45 minutes been out here doing this, we've gone up to 46. I did turn this back down to low and just turn the thermostat up. So we'll stop right about there. Yeah, not too bad. I still say this stuff is messier than this stuff. So if you're doing something like this that's really going to bug you, this is the way to go. This wasn't as bad. This was not great. Still cut everything, installation fine. It's just messy. I can feel it in my hands and on my skin a little more. Probably should be wearing gloves, but it's just easier to use the knife and the stapler and all that when you don't have gloves on. So it's a trade-off. I can go and wash my hands and put some lotion on. This will be fine in a couple hours. Or I can get frustrated and put gloves on and off and on and off and on and off. Don't want to do that either. So that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Come on. That's a little better. Just that one little string. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to sneeze. Man. Goodness gracious. So we know one roll will do 2 of these and 1 of these. These are a little longer, about 3 feet. So we'll just pretend they're all the same. So that's 1 roll, 2 rolls, 3 rolls, 4 rolls, 5 rolls, 6 rolls, 7 rolls, 8 rolls, 9 rolls, 10 rolls, 11 rolls, 13 rolls. I don't know if I did under this window. I did. So 13 rolls. And then if we want to do this wall, which we will, 14, 15, 16, 17 rolls. 17 rolls at $25 a piece. That's a lot. 250 for the 10. And then the 7, 25, and 8 is 2. So, yeah, $400 or so. Plus, minus, It's math. It doesn't have to be precise. What are you talking about? Oh, there was something that I meant to look through here to try and find it. And now that I need it, okay, these guys. So I have that Stanley staple and brad nailing gun. These did not fit. They're just a little too broad across the top. Why? I don't know. These arrows fit just fine. That's what these are. It's a Mace Hardware brand arrows, though, or staples. Those fit just fine. I didn't know how much I had left in this box, but I've probably... So up here, I mean, it looks like there's a lot. There is a lot, but it's about every 6 inches. Put a staple. On the walls, it's about every 16. So you go through a lot of these. When I was out, I actually bought some official Stanleys. These will work just fine. They work with the Arrow T50s, which is what those are. This is just the Stanley version, and I think these were even $1 or $2 cheaper than these. So, not all staples are created equal, ladies and gentlemen. So I can't use the other one, so I threw them away. What's next? Well, when we get the heat in, we'll start here and we'll just start going along this wall. And then we'll finish up over here. Mentioned that I ordered the extra Ethernet cable. When it gets here, we'll go ahead and mess with all that. That's not going to be too bad. It's just going to require like crawling under the house and running some cable. Not a big deal. Move the modem, plug it in, hook everything up. Oh, we got to get a modem out here though, or a router at least. I think I found one. They used to be cheap. What happened? They're all expensive now. Like, I saw one for like $800 and it had like 16 antennas on it. That's excessive, man. That's real excessive. You don't need that. Oh, it's warmed up. It has gotten warmer while we've been in here talking. Cool. I'll come back in a couple hours. Probably right about dark. We'll take a look, see where we're at. This feels really nice. It's not cold in here. It's not cold to me, right? I'm totally comfortable in here. It's the equipment that I worry about. You don't want to hit a really cold drum head too hard because it'll break, you know? So, right on, man. Oh, yeah. Things moved. Ghosts. I hear keys. Hopefully all the keys are in here. Strip tees, prick tees, car keys blues. Car keys, shed keys, groove machine dome key. All right. Let's get out of here, Felix. We've done good service today. Now it's lunchtime. And possibly nap time. Yeah, you get that ground. How was your vet trip? He was like this the minute he came home. He's not supposed to be outside or doing anything for like 2 weeks, but God, you know. You can't tell to that face no. Well, I can. Hey, Felix. Hey, Felix. No. Boom. Come on, we're going to the front door. Are you coming or what? That's what I thought. All right, folks. I'll see you later. Hey, folks. Me again. We are looking at the bill for the electrician, and I'm not gonna like, here, let's do it like this. There. But I have never seen such an itemized bill for anything before. Charged me for the lock nut, 17 cents. Like, we didn't even use one of these because theirs didn't work, so we used one of mine, 20 cents. SLB, that's fine. Standoff strap, that's fine. I think that's the one we ended up not using. A couple of male adapters. The breaker. Their breakers are cheaper than the one I bought. A couple of plastic anchors. Anchors, 9 cents. Tapping screws, 7 cents. Grabber screws, 4 cents. Like, I'm totally fine paying you guys the $194. Right? I'm totally fine. It took longer to write this down than you're getting paid for. You know, round it up. Say 24, 7, and 1. You got another 50 cents there. That's another 20, another 50 cents. You know, call it 158 for the labor, which is fine. And then just total all this, materials. $45. Perfect. I will not question that. It's just 4 cents. 4 cents. 9 cents. 7 cents. Come on. I will say though, real nice guy. Very, very informative. Had a lot of good information for me. Very helpful. allowed me to watch and learn and ask questions, and I appreciate that. So my lunch is hot. Oh, and this very microwave is the one you hear at the beginning and the end of every episode of Electric Leftovers. This is the one. The person who lives with me now says they can't push the buttons without hearing the music when it starts. For a minute I thought my camera was broken. It's dark, but it ain't that dark. That's 7-ish. So I figured it's been a couple few hours. Another thing about this new stuff, it's got a very potent odor to it. Very kind of petroleum-y. All right, we're hanging at 47. That is on low still. Slightly above, call it 1 o'clock. Go ahead and crank it up 1 notch. Not too bad. And it's not great. Ain't gonna lie. It ain't great. I was hoping for better. But the walls being in the shape they're in, it ain't nothing in there. They're mostly hollow. So it ain't great, but I think it's okay. Like, I could come out here and play some music and sing some songs and not feel too bad about it. Just I think the next thing we'll do, keep working on that wall like we talked about, and just wrap around this way. So, and here's the situation. I was talking to the guy at the shop where I bought this. He's like, we don't usually have this much of it. They just ended up with a bunch. And so it's not something, it's not something there's going to be a lot of access to, it sounds like. So I may push this a little hard in the next couple of weeks. I was going to, maybe go by 2 rolls every payday or so. I might bump it up to 3, maybe 4. So if I do 2 and get 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. If I do 3, I can do that much, and then 1, 2, 1. So if I get 3 at a time, that's 6 bays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 9 bays. 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I get 3, I could get it done in 3 rounds, not counting this wall. If I do 2, that's 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 3, 1, 2, 3. And be, it's kind of like 6 one, half dozen of the other at that point. We'll figure it out. No. Oi. Go on. I'm sorry, porch cat. It's so nice not having to slam this door. The deadbolt is just a little bit tight, but I don't have to slam the door. And that's nice. Anyway, there it is. There you go. There's the update for the day. Really, I probably won't have any more news till we get the heat turned on and start doing some more insulating. We won't do any of the drywall till all the insulating's done. Won't do any more insulating till the heat's in. maybe we got that one wall to consider, but for the most part, I think we're pretty much done with the projects for now. See you next time, folks.